Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Elaben Creation. In today's tutorial we will be learning how to cut an 8 pieces modelized skirt. Wow, it is very easy to make and you will love that. And I want to thank my subscribers once again. You guys are wonderful. So now let's get started. Okay, we will start by folding your fabric into two. We are cutting an 8 pieces skirt. So our waist measurement is 36 and hip is 48. And we are going to divide everything by 8. So when you divide 36 by 8 to give you 4.5, it is unfold. But when you open it, 4.5 will now give you 9, which means we have minus 9 from 36. Okay? And it will remain 27. So come down to hip. Her hip is 48. Divide by 8. It will give you 6. And because it's unfold. But when you open the fold, it will be 12. Which means we have minus 12 from 48. And it will remain 36. Take note of that, okay, as we go. So I will start now by marking the vertical measurements. I'll mark the waistline. Her waist to hip is 9.5. Her waist to knee is 20. Her skirt length is 44. Then plus 1 inch folding allowance, which will make it 45. I think this is okay for me, okay? So now I'll extend the whole line with my ruler. And this will help me to know where I'll take the horizontal measurements. Just watch very well and you understand the whole thing. And make sure you watch to the end of this video. So after this, I will cut the center front first. I'm going to cut the two together. I will not cut separate. The two center fronts is here now, okay? So we are going to cut the center front together. So on the waistline, I will go in by 1 inch. Mark. You come down to knee. I'll go in by, I'll go in by 2 inch. You mark your 2 inch. Just watch what I'm doing. So you come up to the hip, you mark your 1 inch also. I'm doing this just to give it a nice shape. Okay? So you connect. Remember, we are cutting the center front. Just watch what I'm doing and you will love this skirt after this tutorial. Okay? So after connecting, you now extend the down part of the skirt. It's a slant line. Okay? Just slant it the way you want. Okay? So this is the shape I'm creating. Okay? So from these extended lines, I'm going to take the horizontal measurements. Okay, so on the waist, because it's on fold, 36 divided by 8 will give us 4.5. Remember, we are working with waist 36 and hip 48. Okay, you divide by 8. So on the waist, you mark your 4.5. Okay, so whatever you are doing, make sure your measurement is accurate. Okay, so when you mark your 4.5 there, you also add your joining allowance. So down to the hip line, that's where you are going to take mark your hip circumference. Okay, like I said before you mark, make sure you take the accurate measurements so that you won't make any mistake. Okay, so Just watch what I'm doing. After marking your 4.5 on the waist, you come down to the hip, okay? You divide your 48 by 8, which will give you 6, okay? You mark 6 and extra half inch for joining. So you come down to the knee. I will now use the waist measurement, which is 4.5, and mark it down on the knee. And this time, there is no allowance there, because the other allowance will be on the two sides. When I'll be cutting the two sides, I'll now add all my allowance, okay? So from this point on the knee, I'll now extend the line with my straight ruler. Hope you are getting me. Just after this, you will enjoy it. From the knee to the hip, from the hip to the waist. Just join the whole measurement together and you see the outcome, okay? So it's time to cut. Before you cut, make sure you go through your measurement again, okay? Before you cut. So after cutting, this is the outcome. So I'm going to use this to cut the center back. So let's do that. So you fold again into 2 and you take the center front and place on it. So the knee line, I extended the line. I do the same on the hip and also on the waist and also on the full length of this skirt. Because I'm cutting a 6-piece and 8-piece skirt, I don't want to add any tail on it, though the fabric has finished down there, okay? But I will cut in a way it will have a tail, okay? So on the knee, I will just extend, I will just slant the down parts, which will give me a curvy look after. It will give me a curvy look after. Just watch what I'm doing. So from the waist to the knee, we are going to take 1.5 inch, okay? That will serve as zip allowance, okay? From waist to knee, you stop there on the knee, okay? Then you connect with a straight line. Remember, 1.5 for zipper allowance. From waist to knee, you stop there. So from the knee now, you now extend the whole line. You just extend, give a slant straight line, okay? And this will give me a curvy look under the hip there, okay? So from the knee, just cut everything out. Just watch what I'm doing and you'll enjoy this outcome of the skirt. Okay, just try this and you'll enjoy it. Just cut carefully. Okay, you cut all through. So after this is the outcome. This is the front and this is the back. So just watch the down part of this skirt. You will notice that the center back is more fuller than the front. Can you see that? Because I just want the back to give me that curvy look under the hip, okay? And when you wear it, it will be as if you added the tail when you are cutting. Okay, so I'm going to use this now to cut the other two sides, both the front and the back. And that is where I'm going to add all my sewing allowances. So now you fold into 2 again for the front side. Okay, so I'm going to use this center back now to get the flare, the full flare and what down there. Just watch what I'm doing. I just want the down part only, okay? So you use your chalk and mark where the flare ends. You mark, so you remove it. Remember, we are cutting with the waist measurement of 36 and hip 48. So on the waist, we have removed 10 inches. Yeah, 10 inches. And on the hip, we have also removed 13 inches, both the joining allowances, okay? So what remains on the waist is 27, and on the hip, what remains is 36, okay? So those two measurements are what we are going to use to cut the two sides that remain, okay? So now you take your tape rule, you mark your hip line, okay? You mark your knee line, okay? And also your full length and your folding allowance down there, okay? Hope you're enjoying this video. So you extend the line all through. Okay, so next thing now is to do our work. So on the waistline, you go in by ½ inch, okay? I'm cutting the front side. The front side is what I'm cutting now. So on the waist, you go in by ½ inch. So down to the hip, you will go in by 2 inches. 2 inches, okay? Yeah, 2 inches is what I want here. So you come down to your knee, you mark ½ inch. The reason why I'm doing this is to give it a hip curve look, and that is where the center, the center hip will lap. When I'll be doing the sewing, you will see what I mean, okay? So now is to connect the whole dots. You connect with your hip curve. Just give it a hip curve look, okay? Okay, just watch what I'm doing. Don't be confused here. That's my modelized 8 pieces skirts. So after doing that, yeah, so after that, on the waist, hip, and all the rest, now put all our horizontal measurements, okay? So waist is remaining 27, remember that? So 27 into 2 give us 13. So our 13 is, our 27 is now 13.5, which is here, you mark, okay? So now you add your sewing allowance. 1.5 is enough, okay? You mark. So you come down on the hip. What remains is 36. So 36 into 2 will give us 18. So because it's on fold, that 18 will give us 9. Take notes, okay? You mark your 9 there, and now you add your 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Remember, all the measurements I'm taking now starts from this curved line, okay? From the curved line, okay? So on the knee now, I'm going to use the waist measurement there to mark the knee, okay? I'll take the waist measurement down there, up there, and bring it down to the knee, okay? So you bring it down to the knee and you mark, okay? Just watch what I'm doing. You mark, okay? So next thing now is to connect all the dots or the line, okay? So another thing, if you don't want to divide all the measurement by 8, you can only divide the hip by 8 and use the hip measurement to cut the skirt, Okay, if you don't want to use the waist measurement, this, you can only take only the hip measurement. And remember, the hip is the biggest when we are talking about the lower bodies. Okay, so if you are using the hip, which means you are not going to add any sewing allowance on the waist. Okay, it is only the hip that you are going to mark your allowance. So if you are using that, which means on the waist it will be now 9. Okay, because we are using now hip measurements, it will be 9. Okay, and that 9 you mark. Then on the hip you also mark the 9. Okay, and now you add your 1.5 inches. On the knee, you do the same thing if you are using only the hip measurements. Hope you get what I am saying. Okay, but if you're not using the hip, you can now take your accurate measurements. Okay, so on the hip you have 10.5, and on the knee you can now mark your 10.5 if you are using the hip measurements. Hope you understood me. So now I use the hip measurements here now, okay, from the waist to the hip and to the knee. Okay, so I did not use the actual waist measurements. Okay, so now I'll now connect all the dots together. Okay, hope you understood what I said. Now you extend your flare the way you want it. Remember, this is the front side is what I'm cutting now. Okay, just give it a trial and you will love the outcome of this skirt. So now I'm going to open the folding there now. Okay, then you cut all through. Okay, now you now open the fold. Just take a good look at this skirt. How does it look? Very, 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 very good. Wow! You will love this. Just give it a trial. You will like it. This is the front side. Okay, I'm going to use this to cut the back. Okay, so give it a trial. So let's cut the back. Okay, this is how the skirt will look like after cutting the back and the front sides. Can you see it? Oh my gosh! So this is the front and the back. Okay, do you see it? Wow, wow, wow! This is great. Can you see her? Okay, so I know you will give this a trial. Please, if this tutorial is helpful, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, please. And also remember to press that notification bell down there for more updates. Okay? I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for your support and everything. Always remain safe. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.